What's up guys, Chris here. Today I'm showing you guys how to make your face look about 60 years older using Faceapp, EbSynth, and After Effects. And will I show you how to do this quickly? No, I don't think I will. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make a new folder. You're going to name that whatever the hell you want it. That's what you're going to be using. That's your base camp right there. Then what you're going to want to do for you is you're going to jump into After Effects, import your video file, put it into your timeline, and narrow it down to the exact section that you want it. If you have a 5 to 10 minute video, you don't need that entire 5 to 10 minute clip of frames. So if that's selected in your After Effects timeline, what you're gonna do is you're gonna Control M export, and in your export settings where it says lossless, you're gonna click that and bring it down from format to PNG sequence. Now don't really change anything else, it's automatically gonna sequence everything in the correct order. So from there, you can go ahead and change your output folder to that video folder so you have a correct area. So from right there, and you can name it whatever. So for this one, we can name it Faceapp Test. I can't spell right now. Test, and then make sure you have that underscore, the brackets, and the pound signs because that's what keeps it sequential. So go ahead and click save and render. But since we already rendered earlier, I don't have to do any of this. From there, you can go ahead and pick out your keyframes. The best keyframes that you can pick are the ones where you have the most detail available. So for example, if we have one like this where you can just see my head, not my hands, if I bring my hands into frame, EbSynth isn't gonna know what to do with the hands. Same way, if you have your head sideways like this, and then you bring your head forward, it doesn't know this entire side of the face. It doesn't know what to put there. So the best thing to do is to honestly have a wide shot where you don't lose your hands. You keep your face completely in there, and you have your keyframe just looking dead on the camera. Boom. And then you can move and do whatever you need to in the video itself. Depending on what you're doing, you might need to use multiple keyframes. For something like this, or for say, for example, Endgame, where Cap just like looks, moves over, looks back again, you just need a couple keyframes for stuff like that. I already have a keyframe picked out because I knew which one I'd be using. That's 9702, so it's gonna be this one right down here. So from there, what we're gonna do is we're going to take said keyframe, we're going to copy it, we're gonna come over here to the keys folder, and we're gonna paste it in there. I already have my Faceapp keyframe in there, but that's what I'm gonna use to show you guys how this works. After it's in the keyframe folder, what you're gonna do is you're gonna upload that to your phone in whatever way that you actually do. If you have an Apple product and you're using iMac, you can just AirDrop it. If you're using Google devices, you can Google Drive it. However you get it to your phone, it doesn't really matter. The biggest thing is we're using Faceapp now. After you get your photo onto your phone, go ahead and open Faceapp, and you're gonna go and select that new photo that automatically loads in there. It's gonna hopefully detect a face. If it doesn't read it, you might have to bump up the contrast, bump up the lighting in there. So from there, you go ahead and just select old age or whatever one you're doing. If you want to change your hair color to red or give yourself a pretty cool beard, which is ironically the same thing as the hipster one for me, but you know, it doesn't matter. Click apply and then download from there. After downloading, just reverse the process. Send it back to your computer, same way that you did it before, just reverse the whole thing from there. And bring that keyframe into the folder here. After bringing it back to your keyframe folder, you're going to rename it and use those last digits from the original keyframe one. So for this one, it's 1349702. That's what we're gonna have to use because that is our keyframe label. That is exactly what the computer's gonna look for whenever we're doing this to actually bring it all together and bring it in. So with that being said, we can go ahead and save that. And now we actually just jump into EbSynth. Go ahead and just drag your keyframe folder over, drag your video folder over, and here's where it gets a little more interesting. With this bottom section over here where it says stop, keyframe, and stop, you're gonna wanna use that same keyframe. So jumping over here again, it's gonna be 13497002 for me. For you, it could be something completely different. It could be 34782 or anything like that. It depends on the frame sequence that you already have there. And after you have your keyframe set, you have stop at the very beginning and stop at the end. That's literally just telling EbSynth when it needs to stop doing the EbSynth thing. So the first stop, let's just keep that the same one. So 13497002. And then for the final stop, just whatever the final one is for your clip. So for me, it's 1350126. So 1350126. So from there, you can also click advanced and you can do mapping, deflicker, or diversity. I genuinely don't actually know what those do. So you can play around with that. I don't know what they do. I've not played around with them to actually test and see what those actually change. But I can tell you what the weight does in the corner. That literally tells the software how much weight it should give one of those things. So for right now, the weight of 1 on the keyframe and weight of 4 on the video tells it that it should use the video more than it does the keyframe. Now if we switched back and did it reverse and did the weight where it had the keyframe higher than the video, it would prioritize the keyframe more than the video, and the frames that we get out of it would look much more like the keyframe originally than the video that we have. It's best to keep those with the video weight higher than the keyframes, but you can get some different and interesting effects by changing those around. That is really, I like keeping it at default because it gives me a nice, solid effect with the default. You can go through and you can tweak it all if you want, but I personally don't recommend it. For something quick and easy, it's always just better to use the default. So from there, whenever you're ready, just click synth, and we wait.
One eternity later.
All right, and after it's done rendering, what we have here is we have a new folder, our output folder. And if we jump into here, we actually can see where our old face is. And we can see like our old maniness and super blurry definition because my computer's being wicked slow while recording this. All right, so what we're gonna do from here is we're just actually going to back out of that folder. We're gonna go into Premiere and we're just going to drag and drop the entire folder into the new comp. All right, so now our bin is just filled with all these different PNG images. And this is actually a couple hundred for me. I think it's close to like 600 PNG images on mine specifically. So just literally Control A or Command A for you Mac users. Click this nice little button down here called Automate to Sequence. If you click that, it'll bring up this little window here, and this is where you're gonna wanna change it. You wanna select Selection Order, not Sort Order, Placement Sequentially, Overwrite Edit, and just leave all that pretty much the same, except for, instead of using Use In and Out Range, do frames per still, 1 frame. By default, it'll be up to, I think, 30 frames, leaving each like individual photo one full second. But we need each of these to be an individual frame, and we need 30 in 1 full second. So from there, just click OK, and it's automatically gonna drop every single one of these frames nice and in a line for us. So if we click play, it's gonna be little on the slow side. So from there, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna select all, click nest, yes, and bada boom, bada bing. Something that might happen with this though. Sometimes, specifically with this one, this is a 22-second clip, whenever the original clip was only 11 seconds. What you can do for that one is sometimes it double frames, sometimes it builds frames in between them to make it look more fluid, but in the process, it doubles the frames, making it slow-mo instead, which can be useful, but not always. So if that happens to you, click speed duration, speed 200, and automatically it's gonna be normal speed again. Everything's gonna look fine. And that's how you can recreate the endgame old Captain America effect just by using some stuff you probably have at your desk. So that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, I have a couple more EbSynth tutorials right up here in the playlist. Right over here, YouTube suggesting a couple videos for you, which I don't actually know what those are, so good luck with that, honestly. And if you really enjoyed this video, click that subscribe button right down there and click that little bell icon to get notified for all my different video uploads. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.